Who's their big boys? Oh, is it a good hat? This is a stinky hat. This is a stinky hat. All right, so I'm gonna let the feed fill in. Usually it takes a couple of seconds. People will hop on. I think I'm a little bit early too, but I got my co-host here, Bird. I look like straight garbage. Yeah, time for a shave. Definitely time for a haircut. Cuban fro in full action. You got your little frozies, bud? What are you doing? Why are you shivering, budsies? Why are you shivering, little buds? Oh, I didn't ask for one. What's up, my peoples? I'm giving it a couple of seconds. I'm going to let everybody start filling in. Oh, Boss Bird's here. Oh, snap. Melissa, Joey, what up? Robin, Jason, Melissa, my peoples. Jennifer, Carlita. I think I messed that one up. Melissa. Oh man, I am blind as a bat. Doing well, my friends, doing well. Letting everybody kind of join in here. I guess I'll start by saying thank you all very much. I've gotten a lot of messages, a lot of stuff from everybody basically worried about what's going on with me. And what do you got going on? Why are you shaking? What's up? Is it the lizard? Is it the lizard? Don't you go after my lizard. So I want to say thank you to everybody. Hola to the crowd that's filling in now. I want to say thank you to everybody. There's been a lot of people reaching out about my medical problems and all that good stuff. And then Kathy says, "Hey, Bird, what was that? What was that?" So thank you guys very much. I appreciate your worry. I appreciate everybody's kind words, prayers, all that good stuff. I also spoke to somebody else about my whole mother situation. So my mother went into major surgery. So big shout out to my mom. Love you. Her name is Pauline, so you guys can shout her out all over my Instagram and Facebook if you want to. She made it through 3 major surgeries all at one time. She's doing okay right now. Rough time for her. It's a rough recovery for the surgeries that were done, but she made it out okay. So we're happy, right, Bird? Yes, we are. And as for me, oh man. So stress is always a part of my life lately for the last 3 years, and that I've become accustomed to. But this thing in my face, the little cyst, for anybody that doesn't know, last time we had talked on a live, I let everybody know that I had been dizzy and had vertigo for a while, and it's because of this cyst that's in my sinus cavity, and it's only been getting worse. So they do have some medications for the dizziness. They have medications to kind of keep me okay during the day. I have a racking headache 24/7. As soon as I start getting dizzy, the brain starts to hurt. And Brian Shell's here. What's up, my dude? Long time no talk. So yeah, so basically we are waiting to get this insurance, which hopefully they'll take me, considering what it is that I do and all that good stuff. A lot of times insurance companies will shy away from me, but it's a stressor. I got some stuff coming up in November, and then we got some alligator shows coming up, and I obviously don't want to be dizzy and disoriented while doing. Where are you going, bud? Go ahead, take off. Bye. All right. You good up there? Perfect. He's over there. He's gonna go hang out. He's gonna toss himself all over the place. So, back to what I was saying. Yeah, I got alligator shows and all kinds of stuff that's coming up. Oh, let me get him before he wraps his talons up. So I don't want to be disoriented. I don't want to be dizzy, and I want to get this stuff taken care of as quickly as I possibly can. Unfortunately enough, like I said, I have to have the insurance part of it down pat. Here's Boss Bird here. Get flowers for my mom. Oh, Dee, thank you very much. Tell Boss Bird I said thank you too. So I will definitely do that, especially for my mama. So that's the story right now, as we're waiting for the insurance. And hopefully that comes through soon enough so that I can get this surgery done and over with. Apparently, from what I've heard, the surgery's kind of quick, kind of easy. It's an in and out, it's an outpatient type of deal. And then I can kind of move on with my life. I don't know how long after I'll still have the effects of like the vertigo and all that other stuff and the massive headaches, but hopefully it goes away quickly. Another thing that I stress about is we have so much work to do on the property. We have inspections coming, and we follow all the laws here. We have to. And the new system that FWC has is a bit difficult to get into, and it's a bit difficult to use, but we're navigating that okay. And then on top of that, like today I should be up putting up a fence, and the materials are here for the most part, but there's a couple of missing pieces. And for the simple fact that my buddy across the street that helps me out, he's not there today. So we couldn't do the building that we needed to do. I should be working on a fence today. So instead of doing that, I decided I would do the live that I was going to do yesterday. Yesterday was a really bad day. Like I couldn't see anything. And every time I moved, it was just too much spinning. So I got all the animals taken care of and kind of just chilled out, even though I wanted to do the live. So today we're going to do the live, and then after that, I'm going to spend some much needed time with the fam because I haven't really been able to spend much time with my girls or do anything other than maybe watch a movie here or there because it's just been constant work here at the park, here at the farm, whatever you want to call it. So hopefully that stuff will be done soon. I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks all the bigger enclosures are done, and then there's still going to be more outside to do as far as the big alligator pits and all that stuff, but I'm really wanting to get to my reptile room because that is, Melissa, thank you very much. It's just fun. My goodness, you guys are too much. Thank you. So, I find myself missing my reptiles lately. Even though I have reptiles here, I have, a couple of venomous snakes. I have a couple of, lizards. I got a couple of monitors. I got my alligators and stuff like that. But I found myself more and more and more just really missing the fact that, I used to be surrounded by reptiles, and I love all my animals. Don't get me wrong. I love my monkeys, love my lemurs, love this little munchkin sitting behind me. I love them all, but I do miss the amount of reptiles that I got to work with. So I'm really trying to push as far and hard as I can to get to that reptile room as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, things are the way they are. It's a slow moving process, and until November, when some of these gigs kick in, the funds are just not there to do some of these things. So I have to focus on the biggest part of everything, which is getting everything ready for inspection and having that fence up and all that good stuff. So that's where we're at today. I think somebody else just put something, or sis fun too. Let's go. All right, Laura Rawlings, thank you very much. All right, so before we get into this, I do want to talk about one thing, which has been a question that I've been asked a bunch of times. David Zeke, what's up? It's a question that I've been asked a bunch of times, and I don't really want to get into it, and I'm not really gonna get into it. But I'm gonna kind of peek into just the tip of the iceberg there, and then we're going to move on from that. There's a lot of drama in the community. There's a lot of drama in this industry. I've dealt with it since I was a child. It's always been what it is. There is really, really good people in this industry, and then there's people that aren't as good in this industry, and I'm not going to call out who's who or any of that. That's for everybody else to figure out. I myself, whenever somebody tells me, oh, this is a bad person, that's a bad person, I like to judge for myself to kind of figure out who is who. And for me, I'm not going to take somebody's word bashing somebody else because it could be their own personal beef or whatever it may be. So everybody feel for yourself, like how you feel about certain people. And if you like those people, stick around those people. If you don't, then don't. Timothy, thank you very much. Tiffany Rich, to never use the Texas accent again. Oh boy. All right, so I want to touch on this real quick. A lot of people have asked about Will Nace. I'm not sure why. Apparently, he went on his Patreon behind a blocked wall to go ahead and say something about our friendship, which is baffling to me because I haven't mentioned him at all, ever. Not ever by name. I don't do that stuff. I grew up a little bit differently than a lot of these people. If we had something that we wanted to handle as children or as young adults, we handled that as a man. So we went to that person face to face and we dealt with that face to face. We didn't go behind people's backs. We didn't do the whole, this like in high school and middle school, that stuff happened, but you figure once you get out of that and you start to grow up that you're going to kind of fade away from that. And you do. Technically, as an adult, you do. That stuff kind of goes by the wayside. You don't have the popularity drama. You don't have the people talking behind your back and the cliques and all that stuff. Everybody grows up and realizes that everybody is the same and everybody has the same problems and everybody deals with the same things. Unfortunately enough, for some reason, I've gotten a lot of questions about why Will and I aren't friends. And I'm not going to say anything on the subject. What I will say is this. Apparently, he had said something on his Patreon, like I said, which is a blocked wall because I can't go on there and see what he said. And he hasn't said anything on any social platform. So, two things. Number one, if you have something to say, again, say it to somebody's face. Otherwise, you're just hiding something. A lot of times people feel guilty for things that they've done. So they push and push and push, and they answer questions that don't need to be answered, or say things that don't even need to be said, because that's between me and him, and whatever they may have done, which I'm not going to get into, they may feel guilty for. And if they feel guilty for that, and they feel the need to continue to elaborate on this years later and go on the Patreon feed to tell their little fans and all that stuff that this is what's going on and blah, 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 where I don't get a chance to see it and I don't even know what's being said, well, then maybe it's just them talking to make themselves feel a little less guilty over what's going on. What I will say is this: if anybody ever really wants to know, we got another one with the never use the Texas accent again. You guys are talking about my Romeo video yesterday. All right, boys, never gonna use the Texas accent again, huh? Right, Bird? We're gonna use it again? Yeah, Bird. They don't want me to use it. They're paying me not to use the Texas accent, boy. All right, so back to the Will thing. The only thing that I will say is this about Will. If he wants to say anything, and if he wants to speak about whatever problems he thinks that there is, or whatever problems he's got with me, then we can do that. The only way that I'll do that is if he's willing to do it standing right next to me, because anybody can say anything online just as same as I can. I can go out and I could spit about 1,000 different people and cause drama and all that nonsense. I'm just not super into that whole type of deal. It's not my game. Again, I'd rather do it face to face. So if I have an issue with somebody, I'm going to tell that person to their face and give them the option to either deal with it, rectify it, or move on and part ways. With Will, if he wants to do that, knock it out. Because if he's standing next to me, it gives them less of a chance to be able to speak of anything that's untrue, and or either speak in their narrative to try and steer things in their direction to either make me look bad or whatever the case may be. I don't know what was said. I wasn't there. I'm just getting a bunch of emails, as well as a bunch of messages, and a bunch of, even on YouTube, I've gotten a couple of messages with the whole Will thing, and I really don't care to say anything about it. But like I said, if anybody wants to hear about it, you go ahead and reach out to him over there and tell him that I said I am perfectly fine meeting up with him, and we can do a video together and we can put all that out. I will say that everything that I have in my phone would probably not be the best idea for him, and he probably wouldn't go for it. He's probably going to keep that behind that blocked wall, and that's as much as I'm going to say. Period. End of story. So if anybody else wants to know about the Will thing, I'm not saying anything unless he's standing right there next to me. Period. End of story. And that goes for the park as well. A lot of people ask me for the holy shit. Who is crazy on here? Let me hold on a second. I got your back. This is Josh. I got your back. Always have. Hope someday we can meet up and grab a beer, brother. Love you and what you do. You help someone from doing something very bad from watching your content. I want to thank you that I am still here. Oh, well, Josh, thank you very much. Josh really sparked up there and threw a bunch of money out there. That's crazy. Dude, you guys, I love you very much. I love you mucho. Josh, big thanks to you, my friend. Big shout out to Josh XXX. If you guys don't see his profile there, it's right there in a big, huge red square. But I appreciate it very much, my friend. Thank you, and I appreciate you having my back. I appreciate all of you guys having my back. All of you guys always have. And that's the best part about this. A lot of people tell me, oh, well, the channel's not that big, this and that. And it's not about the channel being big. If it grows, it grows. I've always said that. And for me, it's more important to have this little group that we have, because love you too, bud. Because the group and Bite Force Appreciation and the YouTube, the whole 9 yards, all this stuff. Everybody is friendly. Everybody's nice to one another. Very rarely is there Matthew Heppels out there too. But everybody's out for, basically helping one another out. It's a good community, and that's the best part of this for me. If the channel blows up and money comes from it, fantastic. If not, I'll still do this because, number one, I enjoy my educational stuff. Number two, I also love the fact that everybody out there takes care of one another. If you go on the Bite Force Appreciation page, you'll constantly see everybody helping everybody out. If there's issues with their animals, snakes that I can't get to, somebody over there will get to it, and somebody will point you in the right direction to get the help that you need with your animals, or whether it's your animals, your mental health, whatever it may be. We had a message on there, I think, the other day from somebody, I want to say from Israel, with the whole war thing and stuff going on. Mary Jackson, thank you very much. I don't know if there's a message on that. There's like stickers and stuff nowadays, so it's hard to see. But they were afraid to post because it was like a political post, but they wanted, thoughts and prayers, and people push that out there, and we do it for everybody. And I'll give you a perfect example. So I have a lot of friends, made a ton of friends off of this, not Facebook, off the YouTube. A lot of you guys have come over. We have chatted often. There's people from across the sea, from across the world that we talk on a consistent basis, and just really, really genuinely good people. And we don't find a lot of that here in Florida. Like, I have my close circle here in Florida, and those are the people that I always keep around me because I know them, I trust them, and because of what happened in 2020 with the park and everything else like that, my level of trust definitely dialed down a bit. And I didn't have much trust before that either, so people really had to earn that. But here I have found a bunch. So in a nutshell, basically what I'm trying to say is it's just amazing how everybody comes together, and that is the best part of everything that I do here. So I want to give a shout out to Crystal Bradford. I don't know if she's on here right now or not, but Crystal Bradford, Dee, and Katie, Kat, all of you guys out there that have helped me in the last few weeks. I've gotten a ton of stuff sent over here. Mark Karma has also sent me a bunch of stuff. We got Alan Malone has sent me a bunch of stuff in the past for the kids and stuff like that. Everybody's always looking to help out. And Crystal Bradford had sent me a bunch of bird toys and some other stuff and materials and heat lamps and just equipment that I can use over here that they weren't using over there. But she also sent it with a very long and very wonderful and beautiful letter, also a very scary letter. So, and that's what I love about this community, is that at least, like, and it's not just me, it's everybody else out there too. Somebody is out there helping somebody all the time in the little community that we have, and that is worth more than any amount of money ever. So Crystal had sent me this letter, and I'm not going to get too into it because some of it might be personal, but she had her son, who I believe is about 23 at the time or whatever, had some serious medical issues that they were going through, and there was a chance that he wasn't going to make it. They were told oftentimes that he wasn't going to make it, and I know what that's like because I myself, four times now, three of them animal related. One was something that I don't even want to bring up from my past or whatever, but at the end of the day, um, four times I have almost been to the point of not coming back to this earth. Four times. And three times I've been told by doctors to make phone calls to my family to make sure that I can say my last words and say my piece and do whatever I need to do in life. A lot of people get on me for some of the things that I do, not you guys, but a lot of people out there will get on me for some of the things that I do with the animals, how I handle my snakes, how I handle the alligators, all that stuff. They can talk as much as they possibly want to, and I ignore it because I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud of where I've gotten in life. And for as many times as I've almost been put down, and sometimes not animal related, and for what I've seen growing up in my life, especially the rough road that I chose to take, like, my family is awesome. Don't get me wrong. I grew up with an awesome family, very tight knit, and I've been pulled away from that a bit being out here in Clewiston, but I'm only still an hour and a half away. But to give you an example, like, my family, my mom, my twin, my older brother and my older sister, we all lived 2 minutes away from each other, every single one of us. And we did that for all of growing up. Nobody ever moved far. Nobody ever moved out of the way. My father was in Tennessee for a while. He's back down here now. But at the same time, we're very tight knit. So I had a very good childhood, and my family's very tight knit. So it has nothing to do with that. But I chose a path in my earlier years that was a really nasty path that brought me through some roads in life that not many have traveled. It's more like a movie, a horror movie, if you really want to think about it. But I've had things and experiences where, I could have not made it out of that. So I live my life to the fullest, and I do things the way that I do things because it's what keeps me happy. It's what keeps me healthy. It's what keeps me moving. Me being a part of the animals and all that stuff, and people could say whatever they want. But if something were to happen where I get put down and I go that way, and that is how it happens, then if it's your time, it's your time. I could be walking down the side of a road and I get hit, I can get hit by a car just like anybody else can. So I live my life to the fullest, and I do it the way that I want to keep my animals comfortable, myself comfortable, and all of that. So, having said that, back to the crystal thing, with her son, almost not making it, I can only imagine how that would feel for a mother. So my mother has had to go through this multiple times, and I've given her so much gray hair, it's not even it's not even funny anymore. But that's the running joke is, I'm gonna end up giving my mother a stroke because of what it is that I do. But she never, ever, 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 ever has ever told me to stop what I'm doing. She's never wanted me to stray from my path. She knows how much it makes me happy. She knows this is my passion. She's happy seeing me do it. Does it stress her out? Absolutely. But does she want me to quit? Absolutely not. She constantly encourages me, especially through the hard times like we have right now. She always encouraged me to push forward, move forward, keep going, keep going, keep going. And that's what we're going to do. So for Crystal to have that going on with her son, like I couldn't imagine it. My kids cry, and it could be for the smallest thing, and I get a hole in my heart just watching them in pain, or it could be a bee sting, could be like a little scratch on a leg, could be whatever. But if I see my kids in any distress, it pains me. Like I would rather be in the pain myself than to watch them go through it. So I can't imagine putting myself in my mother's shoes. I can't. Am I bothering you? Am I bothering you? What do you want? Is there something you would like? Can I tell my story now? Can I? I didn't ask for one. Give me one. Give me one. All right, now stop. Okay, so back. Are you gonna let me finish? Let me finish. So, Crystal, thank you very much for the beautiful letter that you sent me. I appreciate that more than you could possibly ever imagine. And I'm glad to hear that your son is doing well. And thank you guys for the supplies as well. Thank you, everybody, for the care and love and support that you guys always give. But like I said, I couldn't imagine being on the other side of that, where somebody could possibly potentially pass away in my family, especially my direct family. It's just really a concept I can't wrap my head around. It's something that's surreal to me. And, for these moms to go through this, mine, Crystal, all that stuff, that's a lot to go through. But then the community always bounces in, and the community always lifts everybody up. And that's my favorite part about this. That's my favorite part about doing all of this. Can't stay long, but had to pop in and give a little. Thank you, John. John's the guy that killed it on Patreon when we did the game with the identification of the animals. I tried to stump this guy with everything that I had, and we threw up some stuff that was like non-existent in the reptile world. Haven't seen these snake. It was the puff snake, puff water snake, puff face water snake, and this is off track, but we threw up the puff face water snake because even we were having trouble identifying it when it came in. It hadn't been around for so long, and it hadn't come in for so long. So I figured it would be a perfect thing to stump John. Hey, stay here with me, because then I'm gonna have to go get you again. And then John slammed it. He slammed every single one. We got Kira that also said, "I'm sorry for being nosy. I still think you rock." No problem. Oh, Kira, you might have been the one that asked about the will thing. No, you're not being nosy. Don't worry about it. Not at all. She's in it again. Yeah. If Kaylee Lynn. Are you the one? You might be referring to the will question. It's not being nosy. A lot of people have asked me, and it's not because people are being nosy. It's because Will put something out. If he puts something out, obviously it's a natural reaction to go and reach back out to find out what the story is, because you want to see what's going on between these two people. Now, why he put it out, I have no idea. It's been years. I haven't talked to him. Why he brought it up now, who knows? I have no freaking idea, but again, no worries. If anybody, and that goes for everybody, if you sent a message, or if you sent a thing on YouTube, or if you sent a private message, or on Facebook, Instagram, any of those things, don't stress it. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. It never will bother me. I'll never allow it to bother me. It's just that he's not worth my time, my breath, my energy, none of that stuff. But you guys are. So if you ask questions and stuff, I'll give you the short answer of it. But don't ever feel bad for reaching out. Don't ever feel bad for asking me a question. You don't have to apologize for anything. You guys are awesome. You can ask as many questions as you possibly want. I'm always around. I try and get to all the messages that I possibly can. Obviously, they pile up over time. So, Nana, you made it. Yep, you made it. We're just in the middle of this. David, peace out. David's got to run. So yeah, you like those styling jesses, the little nylons? We used to use the leathers, but the leathers get a little bit too crunchy, a little bit too dirty, and these are easier to slip in and slip out. Benjamin Jones, what's up? So yeah, so anyway, like I said, anybody can reach out for anything. My messages do get piled up. My auntie still won't let me have a snake. Kira, you just got to keep begging your auntie. That's the best thing. Just sad face, puppy dog eyes. That's the whole thing. And yes, homie owl is looking fresh to death, right, boy? Yeah, that's Josh who said that about you. I think you're ugly as fudge, but it's okay. It's okay. All right. So anyway, now we're gonna move on past that stuff. We're gonna go back to some fun stuff. I think Brooke is coming in, so we'll probably have the kids and stuff soon. We're gonna do some questions and answers. I'm gonna have her help me because the feed goes by so fast as far as the comments. The comments roll and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll and roll, and it's really hard to keep track of that. So as soon as she gets up here, we're gonna do the Q&A. I got Tiffany Rich right here. A lot of YouTube influencers don't answer their comments anymore. It's cool that you make the attempt. I try and answer everybody that I possibly can because to me, you guys are taking your time out of your lives to watch and support. Some of you guys take your time out to go on the Patreon. Some of you guys go on to the Facebook. Caught alive, Ginger. Yes, you did. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So, and that's her first super on a live stream and said, hi, Mama. Love you. So, shoot, I lost my train of, oh yeah, back to the whole thing there. So yeah, Bud, you're a schmo. You deserve that one. So anyway, I try and get to everybody that I possibly can. I try and respond to everybody on Facebook, Instagram. I go through, like, I'll give myself a block of time each day to be able to go and respond to everybody. And I do that not just for an algorithm. I do it for the people. Bella, hello, beautiful. I do that for the people that take the time out for me, and I would like to take the same amount of time out for you. I can't always do it. I do my very best to get to everybody that I can, but I do believe that if you have any influence on any channels, social media, anything like that, and people are giving their time to you, then you should be able to give that time back. And that's half the fun for me. Like, I enjoy the conversations back and forth. I wish that they would do the platform just a little bit differently on YouTube because of the way the comments work. Like, I can scroll through the comments. So if you have like a YouTube studio, if anybody does YouTube and you have a YouTube studio, you'll see that there's like a comments section and it'll run you through all the comments. But then to get like repeat comments, it's not like Facebook where you can go back to the same post and it just goes to the open comments or anything like that. It's very difficult to continue to respond. That's my only beef with the whole thing on YouTube, because I can't answer a comment after it's already been answered. So we get like one shot back and forth. And then usually if somebody has more than, if it's a question that I know it's going to have more than one part to answer it, I'll usually send them over to like my DMs for Facebook or Instagram, and we'll get into it there, especially if it needs like help with a snake or help with an animal or anything like that. I'll shift them over to there. So let me go get Dum Dum over here. So yeah, so Brooke's going to be up here in a second. We'll do the Q&A. Let me get Mr. Bird here. You dropped one of your dresses, bud. Are you just going to stay in the bathroom? Huh? You gonna stay in the bathroom over here, boy? Come here. This is hard. Okay, well, stay in the bathroom then. Just don't attack my mat, okay? Let me get you. Hold on, guys. Pause. We're gonna do a little Wayne's World. Game off. No, you're wrong room, bud. Come here. All right, forget the bird. Forget the bird. All right, he'll be fine. Brooke, you coming up? Ooh, can you get those samples real quick?
Sure. Anything else?
That was Katie that had asked for that.
He is in.
Yeah, he's probably going to poop in her room. All right, my friends. So again, thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Dee. Thank you, everybody that donates. Thank you, Josh, today. Very much appreciate that. Thank you, everybody that put anything on a super chat or stickers or whatever they call them these days. I have no freaking idea. I really gotta do my thing. All right, somebody, Neo Heaven, peace out. See ya. So, she's gonna go get something that Katie sent. So we got some. No problem, man. Really do great things. Oh, thank you, Josh. Thank you. That's Josh saying, no problem, man. You really do great things. I try to do the best of my ability of everything that I do. I fall short in some things, just like everybody else in life, and that's just the story of life, my friends. That's how we do it. Timothy, I'll get to your question in 1 second because it's an interesting one. But I want to show you guys something. So Katie had sent some stuff over, and that's Katie and Bella. Katie, and she's on the. Yeah, a magnet. And she's one of the moderators as well as like Darshna and Alan on the Bite Force appreciation page. So she actually helps me and is trying to help me with the whole merch deal. And then we have Tanya, the artist, who actually put the art together to be able to fit it on this stuff, because this is the one that we didn't think we were going to be able to use. This is the original logo that me and Brian made. And this is the one that I liked the best. And we have the other one that's red. I'm sure you guys have seen it before. That one's good too, but I just like this one better. So Katie sent me some samples of some new stuff that we got. And for everybody on Patreon, we have everybody's addresses, and we got some stuff going out. It's either going to be Monday or Tuesday because I have the inspector coming out, but we got a bunch of stuff going out for everybody as far as stickers. John's prizes are going to be going out, and then Bill Denny, I got his little special surprise that will be going out as well. So I'm assuming Monday or Tuesday we'll send them out. Everybody should have your stickers if you sent in your address by, I would say, the end of the week. I'm not sure how it works with like out of the country stuff. I would assume that it would be around the same time, maybe a little bit longer that you might have to wait, but just for all the Patreons out there, all your stuff is going to be sent out here very shortly, since we have like a rack of addresses. If anybody is on Patreon and didn't catch the fact that we were giving free stickers to everybody, which I know is not much, but we're going to try and build up to more and more, then go to the Patreon, DM me, and put in the messages the address that you want your sticker sent to, and we'll get those sent over with all the other ones. Now, Katie did some new stuff. Jeb Vlogs, what's up, my dude? So we got this right here. So this is a refrigerator magnet. I have one on my refrigerator. It came out beautifully, exactly the way I wanted to. And they told me that the pattern was going to be too busy with like the Bite Force with the blood spots and all that stuff. But this was my favorite one, and it worked out phenomenally. Now this is my favorite. They did a sticker, and it's the same sticker we had before, but this one's got the little shine to it. So if you look at it from different angles, it'll give you a different shine. Love, Josh, I'm going to fire you. I am going to fire you. I don't even have a message for this. Much love from Colorado, brother. Josh, thank you very much. But if you take anything else out of your pocket, you're fired, bud. That's too much, man. I love you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. You have no idea how much that helps. No idea on earth how much that helps. So yeah, so we got these beautiful stickers here. And then we also have some pins where you can use them as cufflings. Boom. Bite Force cufflings for, you know, weddings, funerals, whatever you got to go to. You could be Bite Force fresh to death. And then soon we're going to have the t-shirts and stuff. We are working on that. We're trying to figure all that stuff out. Katie has been a giant help. Katie and Bella has been an extreme help, as well as Tanya. Dee has been a huge help in being involved in that as well. And Kat, as always, has always been a big help. And Dee, I know she's probably behind the hoses that showed up at the house, right? That's right. Yeah, Dee sent me my 100-foot hoses that we needed over here at the house. All right, let me get to a question real quick. Timothy asked a question. Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully I can, because it was an interesting question that goes with animals, and I think that you guys will actually enjoy it. So Timothy said, how did you learn to identify parasites in animals? Do you have your own microscope, float, and directs? So how I learned to do all the stuff with the reptiles was, I was lucky enough to be put in the right place at the right time. I met a guy named John Klarsfeld, DMV, Dr. John Klarsfeld. Dr. John Klarsfeld was He used to live here in Florida. He's moved since, but he was a phenomenal vet when it came to reptiles. And the reason was is because that wasn't what he did as far as a vet. He was dog dentistry. That was like his big claim to fame or whatever. But ever since he was like 8 years old, this guy was published in Reptiles magazine, which I don't know if you guys still know that. I know it's still around, but that's what we read back in the day because we didn't have Facebook, Instagram, we didn't have Google, we didn't have any of that stuff. What we learned from Reptiles magazines and other little books and stuff that came out. I have the entire collection of Reptiles magazines from Dr. John Klarsfeld as well. So he taught me literally everything he knew about the reptile part of it, and he was a hobbyist himself. So he was super into the reptiles. If you look at giantdaygecko.com, that's his company when he used to produce these gorgeous day geckos, and he would always look for the craziest stuff, and he always found out just super ways to treat things, to find things, to see things, and everything that we did. So I back in the day when I had the reptile company going, when there was like 1,100 reptiles in the house, that's a lot to keep, and there's a lot to do, especially when you're importing as well. You have to treat, you have to learn these things. So everything that we did, he taught me every step of the way. And if something had passed away, we would do the necropsy. He would show me the anatomy of the snake, what to look for, why it passed away, what the problem was, the whole 9 yards. So that also went into learning about, you know, the parasites, what to treat it with, what medications to use, that whole 9 yards. And that's how I got to learn that. That's how I started. Now, moving forward, now I have my buddy, also Dr. John, but it's Dr. Jonathan Shetler. And being with him for as long as I've been with him, that's where I learned how to do all the fecals and stuff. So the fecals were done by Dr. John back in the day, but all the work was done from myself. So any treating or anything like that with any medications, that was done from myself after Dr. Klarsfeld would teach me. Now with Dr. Shetler, he does the same thing. Anytime we do surgery, just like we chopped off tiny dog's balls the other day, I'm always there for that. I sit in there with the surgery room. I pay attention to everything. I watch everything. I try and learn as much as possible. He's the one that taught me how to do the fecal stuff. So yes, I have my own microscope. I suggest anybody out there to get your own microscope. You have to get a good microscope. You want one with like 2 eyes. You can get the one-eyed one, you know, with just the one single, I don't even know what you call it, eyeglass, I'll call it. But I like the one with the double scope. And you got to get one that's got a pretty good amount of power on it, and then you want to do your fecal floats. And once you do your fecal floats, you can scan through and you can actually see the eggs. There are charts out there, so if you're scrolling through and you basically grid it back and forth, you go up, so you're basically going up, down, over, up, down, over, up, down, over until you finish the entire slide. And if you see an egg or something, or if you see something that looks like it's moving, then you can refer to the chart, and they usually have a chart for reptiles of some of the more common things that you're going to see. Now, once you get to different areas like Malaysia, Indonesia, all that stuff, there's going to be different parasites, especially like ectoparasites, and then some of those are going to be treated differently than your internal parasites, because obviously a lot of the times the internal medicine is not going to work for the outward stuff. You're going to have to use like certain poisons and stuff. We're going to do a video on mites. I just treated for mites in my garage. Everybody gets it. It's not a huge deal, but I hate it. I hate dealing with it. It's a pain in the butt. And there's a lot of, you know, stuff that's put out there that's like reptile marketed, and some of it is no good because it's just not strong enough, and some of it is no good because it's too strong, and oftentimes you can lay out an animal. So there's certain treatments that I'll use for certain different animals. We'll get into that in a certain video. Somebody said something here. You got any questions that you're looking at there, Captain Spanky? Tiny Dog is doing well. He looks like nothing ever happened. Just doing his thing. He literally, aside from the first day of like whimpering, which he's never cried before, that was pretty much all I had to deal with, whimpering. And then his belly definitely wasn't doing too hot because I had him upstairs with me and I had taken him downstairs. He was whimpering, and that boy probably shit in the house like 6 times, and he does not do that. But it was a Hershey squirts like nobody's business. So after the 4 hours of dealing with that, things got a little bit better. We got, this is going to be Pennsyltucky, Hillbilly Art. Pennsyltucky Hillbilly Art. I love that. That's awesome. We are willing to help too. Someone just has to let me know. I don't have a lot of time on Facebook trying to get our business going, but we want to help too. You can go to Patreon and search Justin Igualada or Bite Force Entertainment. One of the two is going to put you there. I've linked up the Patreon on the videos and I linked up the Facebook. The Facebook hyperlink worked, so you can go right to it. The Patreon, for whatever reason, never seems to work. I've looked at 1,000 different videos on how to do it. Why has it not worked? I have no idea, but if you want to go on Patreon, that's one way you can support. And then also watching the videos, clicking the like button, that's that helps. Subscribing, the whole 9 yards, all of that helps as well. So it really just depends on how everybody is. I don't like to put anybody out because I know what it's like to be in a rough financial situation, and I know what it's like to also want to help people while you're in a rough financial situation. So it really is dependent on your lifestyle, how everything's going and all that stuff. So if you want to help, there's a bunch of different ways. They did an Amazon wish list. I have to check out the Amazon wish list and change some things on there. So that's a way to help. But if you don't have it like that, then you can also just click the like button, watch the videos, watch the ads and stuff like that. That helps us out. Every little thing that you guys do, you guys don't realize helps. So some people can, some people can't, and the ones that can, awesome. The ones that can't, no worries. You're already helping just by hanging out and watching. We have 149 people watching right now. That is a big help. And then whoever watches afterwards is obviously a big help as well. So everybody does their part. But for right now, that's really all we got going on right now is just the Patreon. And then hopefully in the future, we'll figure out some other things to do. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's Pennsylvania Hillbilly Art. Back to Josh here. Have you ever considered creating a Discord so you and the community can have a place to share ideas and communicate? So Discord was talked about back in the day, and I guess it was like a gaming thing at first, but I know the podcast that I listened to, last podcast on the left, they do a Discord, which I was surprised. I didn't think they would do that. And I guess it's like a way to get more in contact with your fans. So it's something that we're going to look into. But right now, we're trying to dial in on the YouTube, Patreon, Facebook is the three major things we're trying to dial in on, because it gets to the point where it's I have so many platforms. Like, we had a TikTok going, I wasn't running it, I don't even know how to sign into it. And then the Instagram goes, then we have Facebook, and then we have YouTube, and then the Patreon, and then trying to respond to all of that and get to everybody's messages and all that stuff. It does become a task, but I do want to do a Discord. And if we can get everybody together from the group, then we can kind of do, I think on Discord you could do a chat back and forth. Not 100% sure, but let me know, Josh, if you know anything about that. But if you can do a chat back and forth where everybody can get involved, or we can have like multiple people on a screen, then I would definitely think about doing that, because that's something I would love to do. Is instead of just reading comments, if we could get people together where they can chime in, and somebody could pop in and somebody could pop out, or everybody could be together, that would be phenomenal. I would love to have face-to-face conversations with everybody. That would be something that I would definitely be interested in. So 100%, yeah. Pennsylvania Hillbilly Art. Can somebody please give me a link for the Patreon? I just can't seem to find it. It's one of those days. Whew. If you look on the video with the penguins, they said it's on there. They said it's on there. So it may be there. But Pennsylvania Hillbilly Art, I'm going to figure out the link too. So I'll try and put it up on this video afterwards. And if it works, it works. If not, you could try the penguin video. That's like a couple videos back. It's like 4 or 5 videos back. And then it's in between. It's right after the 2 Rick episodes. So there's Rick, and then the penguins. So if you want to find it there, you can go ahead and find it there. I think you can search creators on there. So you might be able to just search my name or Bite Force Entertainment. I'm not 100% sure. I've been having a rough time with the Patreon, even posting videos on there, which I should be able to do. Every time I try and do it, it fails. It just tells me upload fail. Laura Rawlings, Justin, do you have an account with a local animal food product store that we can directly contribute to? Be way cheaper than Amazon and local to you. Yeah, I wish we did. I really wish we did. The food, though, I've been lucky. I have Dr. Shetler and our buddy Carmine, my Italian friend. They go and they pick up fruits and vegetables twice a week. I do have to drive an hour and a half down there to get it, but at least it saves the money on fruits and vegetables, which can become extremely costly, especially for all the animals that we have here. So, no, unfortunately, we don't have any. Oh, well, we have Missouri. There's Missouri diet.
Yeah, that would help.
Yeah. So the actual diet for the animals, Tiffany, I'll answer yours in just one second. The actual animal diets, like when we go to Missouri, we get Monkey Crunch, we get Insectivore, and there's a few other products on there. We'll post that up on.
Can't do it through Amazon.
No, we can't do it through Amazon, but I could put it on my Facebook.
Wait for it.
We'll go to Bite Force Appreciation and we'll show you guys the Missouri link. And that Katie probably will be able to help with that. Honestly, she's supposed to be an admin on here today, but I didn't get to it. I'm sorry, Katie. I failed. If you can figure to mod me here, I can post links. That's from Katie right now. Of course it is. So Katie can post links. So next time we go live, guys, Katie will be a moderator on it, and she'll be able to post links and all that stuff. And I should have done that right before we did this. I should have done it. I should have done it. Damn it. Oh man. All right. We got Richard. When are you and Tyler and Chandler have the podcast? And is it on YouTube? I'm not sure if he's going to do it on YouTube. I'm pretty sure it's Chandler, so I'm pretty sure he's going to throw it up on YouTube. It looks like that's going to be probably somewhere in the realm of a couple of weeks. That's up to Chandler more than it is up to me. So not 100% sure on that. Tiffany, she asked, top 3 animals that you have not gotten to work with that you want to. Ooh. Hippos I've gotten to be around and play with, but I have not gotten the ability to work with those. I would love to work with hippos. I would say, what else? I've worked with a lot. I would love to be able to work with pandas, which is never going to be something that happens. That'll never be a thing because they don't leave China. And either pandas, red pandas or the regular old black and white pandas, both of those. And I would say platypus, 100%. I would love to work with platypus, 100%. So those would be the top 3 if I got the choice right now. Oh, Rebecca Wark, thank you very much. She says, sorry I'm late. How is it, Caracle? Caracle is doing well. Caracle's not here yet. Caracle will be here soon, but he's doing well. The cage is almost up, and as soon as he gets here, I will show you him, and you guys will be able to see how he's doing. I'm also going to be posting up, like I said, the video because we still have that stored. I got the video of the operation, the whole surgery, all of the time it took to rehab this animal, and from what it was to what he is now, he's gorgeous. You can't even tell anything happened to that boy. So the Caracle is doing absolutely wonderful. Thank you for asking. Josh, oh hell no, hippos are terrifying. Man, I love the hippos. They're gorgeous, especially like. You give me a little mini hippo? Oh, man, I'd walk that around the house all day long. All right, let me see if there was anything else here. Josh said he'll email me. That's what I was looking for. So Josh is going to email me so that he can help me out with the Discord and let me know what that's all about. I appreciate you very much. Josh, if you want to email me, it's mrigualada@gmail.com. Or you can hit Facebook or Instagram. Facebook, Justin James Igualada. There's a lot of accounts, but that's the only one that I use. And then BiteForce_ on Instagram. If you want to hit me there and help me out with the Discord, I would appreciate the help. Also, real quick, if anybody out there knows how to somebody had said it, that they could recover footage off of an SD card from broken phones. I have all my old phones that I had for years and years and years. There's 10 broken phones down there, and I would love to be able to get the old footage from those phones, the pictures, the stuff that I've worked with, the animals that I've had in the past. So if anybody knows how to recover anything from a broken phone that has an SD card, definitely hit me up on any one of my social media accounts. I would love Wayne. Wayne Creech, I think you might have been the one that said it before. I'll reach out to you because I got you on my Facebook. I'll reach out to you and we'll talk about that afterwards. But I would love to be able to get those off of there. I would love to see what kind of stuff that I have on those phones. Oh, Katie's got it. Says she says, send me your phones or your cards. Are you like a genius or something, Katie? I don't get it. You're, you're, I'm 36 years old. I can't work my own damn phone. My daughters do it better than I do, and and it baffles me what Katie can do with a damn computer. Jeb vlogs. I can, but I don't have the time, Justin. Yeah, I feel you on that, brother. Time is of the essence for all of us, and it is really impossible. I think that's the most important thing that people don't understand. Oh, and Brooke's laughing, so I'll get to that in a second. But a lot of people don't understand, like, time is the worst shit that we could possibly ever face, because at the end of the day, like, we don't have enough time. If we had more time in a day, we could get so much more done. And then it's really hard to balance work life, the animals, social life, and your family, and all that good stuff. So that's why I don't think you guys realize how important it is to me that you guys even come on here and watch. There was D over there with more hearts and stuff for Katie. For you guys to spend the time, hang out with me at all, take the time to send stuff over, take the time to help, take money out of your pockets to help out. Like, it baffles the mind, because you guys could be doing anything else and you're here hanging out with me. And I appreciate that more than you guys will ever know. It means a whole hell of a lot to all of us over here, especially the animals. We thank you much. But yeah, time's a real, I'm not going to curse, but you know what I'm going to say. Time's a real one. Yeah, it gets a little rough. What were you laughing about over there?
Katie, she said she's an ex-felon, she can do it all.
Katie said she's an ex-felon. She could do it all. Perfect. I keep putting my hand in the way too. All right, Kiki Rose said, I'm the same with phones. We have old broken phone. Oh, wait, hold. We old phones broke out 2 weeks ago, and my son decided to get me an iPhone. Never had one before, and now always had Android, and now lost it. Kiki, I think we talked about that. Yeah, the switch from Android to iPhone for me was not a fun one. They said iPhone was user friendly, and it is not. I thought the Android was far more user friendly. I could figure that thing out in a heartbeat. Anything that I needed to do seemed a lot easier on the Samsungs. The Apple phones for me, not my favorite of all times. Every time I try and do something, it asks for a password that I don't even know. And then on top of that, it's just like everything is impossible. And when I was on my Android, I was a lot more comfortable. Next time I have to get a new phone, which hopefully, this is the longest I've ever had a phone, by the way. This is the longest I've ever had a phone. Thanks to D. Thank you very much. Appreciate you very much. This is the longest I have ever had a phone that works. My other phone, I don't even know if I have it on me right now. I do. My other phone looks like shit. It's broken. The case is coming off. And then on top of that, you can't hear anything. So you have to put it on speaker. Most of the time, nothing goes out. Everything's chewed up. The monkeys have got to it. I drop things in the water all the time. The damn stupid thing gets bit by alligators and all that nonsense. I appreciate this one, but I think next time I might switch back to the Android. Although the newer the Apples get, I think they do a better job at some of the stuff. I just wish they would take that Apple ID thing off of there if I need to download an app or something like that, because it's damn near impossible for me to get that damn password. And then to change it is impossible too. And then on top of that, that old phone was transferred to this phone, so everything's synced. So then I got this information up there and like emails that aren't even mine, and I don't know how to switch it. I don't know how to do any of it. All right, back to questions here before I start rambling on about stuff. All right, Kira says, do you do tours like Chandler does? Untie doesn't like America. Wait, Untie doesn't like America, but has promised to bring me once we moved out of the house next year. Not sure what the Untie is, but yeah, eventually we will be doing tours at the property when the property is finished. Right now, we're not in a position to do tours, and then we're working on our insurance as far as liability insurance, because we had the insurance to go out. We don't have the insurance for people to come in to the house and do all this stuff, but we will be doing tours. But that's after all the enclosures are done, then landscaping and all that stuff. I would say we probably realistically won't be doing the private tours until probably around this time next year, if not even later, maybe around Christmas time next year. That's about how long it's going to take to kind of build the funds to be able to work the park and then get the landscaping and get everything to where it's supposed to be, and have the little paths and stuff like that, and have everything that everybody can do to hang out here at the park. But that is the end goal, is to be able to do our private tours as well as do the mobile tours and get out there and do the educational programs like we always do, which I'm super excited for, because coming up in November and at the end of October 30th, I get to do something for DJ Khaled's son. So that's going to be fun. I'll get to meet DJ Khaled. That's going to be over at the Seminole Tribe of Florida on October 30th. So we're going to be doing shows for that guy right there, pictures for his kid. That's going to be fun. And then I got November with the shows. And aside from the cyst thing in my face that makes my brain crazy, I'm excited for it. Not super excited to find out if I'm going to be dizzy or not on that day. We'll find out. We'll find out for sure. But yes, we will be doing tours 100%. How is Stone's Gator facility coming along? I'm not really sure. From what I hear, he's doing really well. He was able to partner up with somebody, and they're getting things done rather quickly from what I hear. They just got Nate's old crocodiles, which if you watch my... a lot of you have seen the intro. If you watch the intro and you see the three crocodiles walking up along the little dock that we have there, that's Nate sitting up top. Those were his crocs. And then they went to Wild Florida for a little while, and now they went over to Stone's place. So apparently he's doing really well. Hopefully I'll get a chance to go see him soon. I saw him not too long ago when we moved my monkeys off the property over at Jeremy's place, and he was picking up a croc, and he was doing really well then. So Stone's always been kind of go after it type of person. So like once he sets his mind to something, like he'll get it done. So I'm sure he's doing phenomenal. But I'm really interested on checking out his place. Really want to go to Tyler's place too. I talked to him the other day, and just time, like I said, time's a real, yep, it's a real pain in the butt. So we just haven't really come together, and I still have to go to Pepe's over there to treat the snake. So I got a lot to do. We have a lot to do at this park, but eventually here in the near future, we'll all get together and we'll be able to see all this. But I'm pretty sure Stone's probably killing it over there. So what do we got? Any other questions that you can see? Because it's filtering faster than I can look. Katie said all Justin links are pinned in the Bite Force Appreciation group on Facebook. Okay, so all links for Justin are pinned in Bite Force Appreciation. That is on Facebook. So if you go to Facebook and search Bite Force Appreciation, then you should be able to do it. And then I got D. I sent you all the directions. I know. I got lots of directions. You should see me trying to use these microphones. So I got a lot of messages over these mics lately, because the sound cuts in and out when you get close and far, especially with this phone. If you zoom out, if you zoom in, the sound like retracts. And then if you zoom back out, the sound goes back to normal. And I have these mics sitting downstairs from lovely Boss Bird and D. And I'm trying to figure out how to get them hooked up to the phone. And I'm just not really tech savvy, just not at all. I sat there for like 2 hours the other day tinkering with this stuff, and we're gonna get it, I promise. I know that that's the worst part of the vids, especially when we start going outside. We really, really, really want the mics to go and be on with us, because it makes it a lot easier for you guys to hear things, and then we don't get that where it's like really clear for a second, and then really drawn out, and then really clear and really drawn out, so you don't have to keep bumping up your volume and taking it down. So we're gonna have mics soon too. Just want to let you know, because we had that on there too. Erica, she says, y'all are so lucky to be close to each other. I watch you all and feel like friends. Yeah, we were lucky. I mean, we all grew up down here, and we all kind of grew up the same way. And I'm a little bit, me and Tyler are we're the old crew. We're the old guys. Me, Ben, Tyler, we're the old guys. The Fargan old guys. So, and then, we watched Stone and Chandler since they were young do all the same stuff that we did growing up. So yeah, we got really lucky to be able to grow up with the people that we grew up with. And it's not just them. We have Lewis, we have Troy, we have Chandler, we have Stone, we have Blake down the road, we have Kenan, we have all these really, really sweet people here in Florida that do big things. And it's awesome that we're all a community and that we all get to help each other out. And that's what it's all about. And I wish there was more of that in the community, but it is atrocious when you really dig into it, and you're in it long enough. You really start to see like the bad side of all that stuff. And Nate too, but Nate is no longer in the industry, and he's happy to not be in the industry. Nate has gotten out of it, and he's been doing really living my damn dream, honestly. Nate, son of a bitch. So Nate has been. He went back to welding, and they still have a couple of animals over there, but he went back to welding, and he wanted a more simple life. Again, a lot of people don't realize how ruthless this industry is. You guys see what you see on YouTube, and it's fun, it's enjoyable, but behind the scenes, like, some of this stuff gets really nasty. It gets really stressful. You constantly have people attacking you for things that you do. Like, if a post gets thrown up or whatever, and somebody sees me with an alligator, there's a million people that'll talk a bunch of crap. And I have thick skin. I don't really care. People can say whatever they want, but and Nate does too, but to a certain extent, when it starts to become your own people that say certain things, especially when they're not involved and they don't know, then it starts to hurt bad enough to the point where you really want out. And Nate did, and he got out, and he's been doing great. Surfing every single day, welding, kind of making me jealous, sending me pictures of him on the waves every single day. But Nate's doing incredibly awesome. So I am grateful that he is. I'm grateful that he got out of it when he did, and I'm grateful that he, all around is just living life now, and he's doing it a little bit more happy. And then Katie says, "You act like he would even read them." I read directions. I do read directions. It's just that sometimes, especially with technical stuff, the directions don't line up. I can do animals, so that I can do. Send me anything with that, and I'm good with the animals. Anything beyond, and I'm terrible. I'm super terrible at it. All right, so real quick, we're at 60 minutes, so another short life, as per usual.
It sounds like birds messing up the kids' room.
I'll get the bird, man. All right. Off topic, my dog is doing zoomies, but he's not supposed to be running on it because probably torn knee ligaments, that's no bueno. So with torn ligaments or anything like that in your doggos, if they have it, then the best thing to do is, if you have some Remedil, that's good, which is carprofen, is the scientific name. Where's your other Jess, bro? Hold on, people. There you go. Scoot. No, okay. Just do whatever you want. Yeah, so if you have carprofen, Remedil, and then just keeping the dogs inactive. I have to do it right now with Tiny Dog. Even though he wants to run around and do his thing, he's on the Remedil right now, which is basically an anti-inflammatory painkiller type of deal. And then Pennsylvania Hillbilly Art found the Patreon, obviously, because that thing just clicked up. Thank you very much. I don't know if they're still on here and on Patreon at the same time. I don't know if that's a possible thing. But yeah. Somebody said give your dog some magic peanut butter. It does work 150%. You can keep him calm and sitting there. Just get a little tongue depressor, put some on there right in front of the face. But yeah, dog's on the Profen. Okay. He's on dog Profen or something like that. It's carprofen, which is Remedil, which is exactly what I was talking about. And then he gets x-rays on Thursday if he's not better. Well, hopefully he'll be doing better by then. The hard part is when they get the carprofen, the Remedil, just like my dog Duke, he's got crunchy knees, crunchy hips and all that stuff. And when he gets his Remedil, he tends to... they don't feel the pain, so they go back to kind of running around doing their thing, and they kind of go back to being a puppy. And it's kind of like we have to control, and it sucks because you want them to run around and it looks like they're getting better, but then they'll end up hurting themselves even more. So if he's on the Remedil, the dog carprofen, I would go ahead and like snuggle him up and make sure he can't move anywhere. Just go ahead and put him in a headlock and just keep him with you. All right, Heather Tinker says, "Hey, Justin, how's my favorite critter getter and all the critters doing today? It's so awesome." It slides. I'm sorry, guys. Or maybe I just can't read, but I'm going to just say it slides. The critters doing today, it's so awesome to finally have you back home. Missed you bunches. I missed you too. Everybody's doing good. All the critters are good. Romeo and Juliet are doing phenomenal. We're going to have mac and cheese back here shortly. And then, birds in my room right now, probably tearing stuff up and attacking things that aren't alive, like, blankets and whatever mats are on the floor, because that's his favorite thing to do. All the animals are doing really well. I do have big news. I really don't want to say, and I haven't been getting into it because it was super depressing. We did have a loss. We had a huge loss. Hi, Kimmy. We had a huge loss, and this was probably a month ago, and it tore me up the same as my dog did. And Wally, Mr. Wally the alligator, our little stunted guy. So about a month ago, Wally passed away. And I know a lot of the YouTubers and stuff, when something passes away, they'll make a video about it and all that, and kind of do a passed away video type of deal. And I don't have that in me. When my dog passed away, I put up some highlight reels of her, and I can't watch that video to this day. It as much as I love her and I love seeing pictures and stuff, if I watch the video that I made with the music, it tears my heart into pieces. And with Wally, a lot of times when reptiles pass away, especially like if you're a breeder, dealer, or whatnot, a lot of times those go in the freezer. For me, I like to bury mine. So Wally's got a spot out in the backyard, and he's buried back there with his little sign and his stuff. But that was probably one of the more difficult things that I've had to deal with within the last couple of months, just because Wally's been with me for 15, 16 years. And I would equate it to like we could have done a necropsy and found out exactly what was going on, but I'm pretty sure I know what was going on. Wally's 15 years old. He should be 10 feet by now, and he had never grown since I got him. And when he was raised in a dog crate and got water when they felt like it, and got a piece of chicken every once in a while whenever somebody felt like giving him a piece of chicken. And the lack of nutrition in the beginning, and just a lot of people think it's the space. And if you put an animal in a small space and you feed it what's supposed to eat, and it's got all the proper requirements of everything, the animal's still going to grow to the same size. It's going to be smushed in a crate. So it's not necessarily the fact that he lived in a crate, although I'm not saying that's a good thing. You should never have an alligator that just lives in a crate, but he had no water. And then it's the nutrition. A piece of chicken with just some bone, there's marrow in it, there's calcium in the bone, and then you have the meat with the chicken, but a drumstick here and there is just not enough to keep an animal like that sustained as far as nutritional value. That's why I always go into, when I teach anybody about any reptiles or any animals at all, the most important thing is husbandry and diet. It's how you take care of your animals, how you clean your rooms, even the garage itself. It's difficult right now because Pig lives in there. Well, she doesn't live in there, but she sleeps in there because she's still a diva. So Pig goes in there at night, and because she wants to sleep in her half a crate that she doesn't even fit in anymore. But she's outside all day long, but she's still a diva, so she wants to go sleep inside. The problem with that is she's a muddy little pig. So when she goes in there, there's mud and pig hair everywhere and dust all over everything. And realistically, like in any reptile room, you want to keep that to a minimum. So dust particles, things like that, things that can travel when you have dirty spaces and things like that, that will also go into affecting your reptiles and stuff. Then there was like some old wood stuff in there, which is probably why the mites came back after I treated them the first time. So if you have any wood in your reptile rooms and stuff like that, it's best to like blast that wood or get rid of it, especially if it's plywood or anything like that. But the guy had like a cabinet in there that we're going to burn to the ground because the mites will stay in there. But yeah, so I lost Wally, and the reptile room really hasn't been the same. I still have my other alligators and stuff like that, but Wally was just really, really special. And I'm sure because of his stunted growth that it finally just caught up to him. He was doing fine. We were in there the day before, and he had eaten 2 days prior, and he was being the beast of an alligator that he is inside of his enclosure. And then we just walked in one day, and he was no longer with us. So I'll tell you guys now on here, but at the end of the day, I'll never make a video like that. I just can't. I can't make a video. Like if something passes away, it's not something I want to monetize. It's not something that I want to make money off of. It's not something that interests me in any way, shape, or form. Some people do it, and that's completely fine with me. I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's just not my cup of tea. I can't imagine using Wally's passing as something to try and make myself money, or to try and get views, or bump up the channel or anything like that. I don't think it's a good thing. And for me, it's a part of my life that I'll never get back, and it's hard to deal with any of those things. With the animals that you spend the most amount of time with, and then once they go, like I think about that all the time with Romeo and Juliet too, especially. with how they're raised, and you know, basically them being my kids, like they're gonna live a long time, you know, about like 25 years and whatnot, and they're 10 now, so we're halfway through, we're almost halfway through, and I start thinking about that stuff. You know, even when I was in there with him yesterday, I was thinking about that, looking at his face, and then just imagining life without him. And that's the hardest part of this industry, my friends. Is, you know, a lot of people want to get into it, and a lot of people don't realize that, like, yeah, I love what I do, and I'll always do what I do. And when I was younger, I always thought that I would get desensitized to seeing things like that. You know, when I first started working at certain places, like when I was at the Seminole Tribe of Florida, there was a cougar there that we had to put down. It was old, it was deaf, and it was time. It was 22 years old, which is a good long life for a cougar, especially, you know, in captivity. And I hadn't known the cat very long, but it tore me up on the inside to see it, and just to see it lifeless there. And you know, you just figure, growing up with this stuff, and then doing this, you figure when you're older, like, you're gonna have a calloused heart and a stone heart, and you're gonna get desensitized to things passing away. And that's quite the opposite. It goes right back to the other end of the spectrum, where it gets harder and harder each time you lose something that's in your life. So let me get off this depressing subject before I ruin the rest of my day. But yeah, there's that. So Pennsylvania hillbilly art. Believe it or not, I had a hard time with Patreon. I'm a tech for Amazon for all the Echo, Alexas, Fire tablets, Kindles, most of the digital devices. I'm so sorry. Damn, that hurts. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate I appreciate you joining the Patreon. We do have a lot of fun games, so stay tuned for that, Pennsylvania. I'm not sure what the deal is with Patreon. I'll get with Katie and Dee. They're going to know a lot more than I do about that, but we'll try and figure out what the hell is going on with Patreon. Because like I said before, even the videos, like, I've been trying to post videos lately, and I keep getting the failed to upload, failed to upload, failed to upload, and I should be able to do a lot more. So, and Melissa, yes, words are hard, especially for me. All right. Michelle, you are late as I'm not cursing. You're late. You're super late. We're almost done. We're 70 minutes in to this very short live. So we got a couple more questions that I'm going to take, and then I am going to spend the rest of the day with the fam and try and do something to relax. The inspector's supposed to be out here tomorrow, but I don't think we're going to be able to make that happen because, again, I can't get the fence up. So hopefully we get that done tomorrow, Tuesday, and then have the inspector out, and then we can move on to the reptile room. Like I said, I saw Chandler here. How many snakes does Chandler have that are from me? And that is from Ricard. He has, well, he's got Justina. He has a couple of puff adders that came from me. I think he still's got the rhinos over there. I think there was a monocle cobra over there that might have been from me in the past. I don't know if the wags is still over there, but he had a wags that came from me as well. There's a couple of things he's got over there. There's a couple of things. Not too much. A lot of this stuff he started getting. I helped him get some of the stuff, and then he kind of took off. And you know, you make connections along the way, you make friends, and you start getting the stuff that you want to get and the stuff that you enjoy. And I was lucky enough to get the snakes from him back, and that's kind of how it works. That's why I love the circle that I'm in. Like, everybody always passes things around. We got Rahan. Please excuse me if I destroy your name. Rahan. It's either Rahan or Raheen Rashid. Official channel. Do you have a pet owl? I don't know if I have a pet owl. Let's ask him. Do we have a pet owl? Why are you on my bed? Hey. Hey. Why are you on my bed? Hey. If you poop on my bed, bro, we're talking. You and me. You and me. We're gonna have words. So there's your answer. So this is Bird. I'm talking now. I'm gonna do it now. This is Bird. He's a Eurasian eagle owl. It's one of the largest owl species in the world. He's a male, so he's about. You're gonna do this? He's about 4.5 pounds. The female would be about this big, so she would stand about a third taller than he would. She can get up to 8 pounds. Does anybody know why that is? It's a bird of prey. It's an owl. They're 100% monogamous. So once they meet their mate, they stay with their mate forever until one dies or until they both die. Um, Somebody said about my old man tales. Yes, 100%. I'm going to be doing old man tales in the future here. And yes, this is Chandler's sibling. So I got these two birds, I want to say 2 years ago now. And yes, it's Bagoy's clutch mate. So he was born, this guy was born 2 weeks before Bagoy, but it was the same clutch. I got this guy from my buddy Rick West, who's absolutely amazing. He's one of the most wonderful human beings on earth. He's an older gentleman that just loves the owls. Yeah, and he produces some of the best owls that you could possibly imagine, and that is Chandler's bird's brother right there. So we got Bird and we got Bagoy, and like I said, we got the male that's about 4.5 pounds. Female would get up to 8 pounds. Let's see if anybody knew the answer as to why that might be. Dun 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 dun. Doesn't look like anybody answered the question. Yeah, I said that. All right, Derek's off to do water changes. Peace out. I'm surprised you guys stuck in this long. So, real quick before we leave, Bagoy, they're both boys. Bagoy's a boy, Bird's a boy. They're both two little boys. So, I'm going to teach you guys a little something about owls before we go, and then we'll do one more question after that, and then we'll go. All right, so Brooke, you look for questions. All right, here we go. So I'm going to go top to bottom. We got tufts up here. These are not ears. A lot of people think those are ears. They're... Come here, you son of a bitch. Hey, so we got those tufts up there. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. You're gonna do it. He's gonna poop once he lifts. Watch this. Hold on. Watch. If he goes to fly, watch. If he goes to fly, he's gonna release the beast. I don't know why they do it, but every time they go for a flight, most of the time they'll yoink up and they'll poop, and then off they go. I think it's to make them lighter. So those tufts at the top of his head, those aren't his ears. It's to make him look bigger. Wi-Fi, somebody said they're Wi-Fi antennas. They don't help with the Wi-Fi around here. I'll tell you that much, because it sucks out here where I'm at. So, hold on, before I got to answer Pencil Tucky real quick. By the way, thank you for telling us timbers are still protected. At one point, we were told they were off the list because the females are the hunters. She answered the question, but yes, so no problem. Yes, timbers are absolutely still protected. She just answered the question that I asked. So the females of these guys are the protectors. It's a monogamous bird, so they pair up, they mate forever. From top to bottom, you have those tufts, not his ears. He can make them, he'll stretch out real tall if he needs to, and put his tufts up, it'll make them look bigger, or it'll blend them into a tree. The second defense, if they want to, is they'll puff up like big round. So they'll put their wings out and they'll fluff up all their feathers, makes them look twice as round, twice as big. And that's usually what they do to face a predator or something like that. The ears are in the same place that ours are. 1 point's up, 1 point's down. Josh, I see the email was sent. Thank you very much. And the reason being is because they are silent hunters. At the end of those feathers, and this guy's got a 5-foot wingspan, maybe even a little bit more. When he flies, 100% silent flyer. There's serrated edges at the end of those feathers that keep him silent while he flies. Now the face there, their eyes, big, huge eyeballs. They're orange in color right now. Once he's about 5 years old, they can change. So it can go from that to like a more ruby, reddish, orange type of deal. So they can darken or stay the same color. But those eyeballs would be like us having oranges for eyeballs. So they don't move like ours. I can look right, I can look left. He can't do that. He's got to move his head. So you'll constantly see a bird bobbing his head around, not a bird, an owl, bobbing their head back and forth. Hey, walk much, bud? So they'll do this, they'll do that, they'll go back and forth and back and forth. What they're doing is because their eyeballs aren't like ours, what they do is they have to bring things into focus. So think of a camera. If you spin it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, you're bringing things in and out of focus. That's what they do when they bob their head. Has anybody ever heard that an owl can turn their head 360 degrees? I'll wait. Slow on the answers, guys. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, he skips his leg days. Little skinny legs there. You should see if I lift it up. Nana says yes. So, okay. A bunch of people have heard that, right? So here we go. So an owl, ready, can turn his head 360 degrees, but they can only do it once. That's a good joke. I don't care what anybody says. It's a good joke. So they can only do that one time. After that, it's straight death. They can't do the 360 degrees. They could do about 270, 280.
Oh,
Can you stop destroying my stuff? They could do about 270 to two. Did you just go for yourself, bud?
right into the mirror.
Carly Simon, you're so vain. All right, so they could do about 270 to 280 degrees. The reason for that is very simple. They are silent hunters. That's a big old bird, and owls are lazy as can be. So the owls themselves will sit up in a tree. They're going to wait for their food. A falcon, hawks, smaller birds like that, smaller bodied birds will actually fly around, do high flights. They'll fly back and forth, constantly searching for food, and that's how they hunt. These guys, being silent, lazy hunters, will sit up in a tree. They'll wait for a rabbit, and this is a big bird, so he could take down a small deer, small fox, things like that, with ease. But what he'll do is he'll wait in the tree, and then when he sees that prey, he'll rotate the head. And the reason they can do that, you don't have to follow me, it's okay, but the reason they do that is because they have 14 vertebrae in their neck. All mammals, including the giraffe with that big long neck, have 7 vertebrae in their neck, including us. So if you tried to if you hold your shoulder still, turn your head as far as you can, that's as far as any mammal is going to get. But, I mean, obviously the giraffes have a longer neck, so they got a longer reach. They could probably touch their butt with their face, but it's a little bit different. But 7 vertebrae in those neck. So when you have the owl, 14 vertebrae in the neck, it's going to give it that 270 to 280 degree turn. And the reason is just to be silent in the tree. If that bird were to stand up and try and turn around to try and see the prey, he's going to make noise and he's going to scare the food away. So he locates the prey and he swoops down silently and gets it. Any bird that can fly down, grab his food with his feet, and take away that food and fly away, that is a raptor. That is a bird of prey. That is in the raptor family. So falcons, eagles, hawks, owls, things like that, those are all raptor species, all birds of prey. So there's about 400 to 600 pounds of pressure in those feet. So if he wants to throw a talon through one side of my arm and straight out the other, 100%, he can do that. And then as far as the bird size, just like Pennsylvania Hillbilly Art said, the reason for the size is very simple. Dad's the protector, mom's the protector, and dad's the hunter. So when mom has babies, mom is the nest protector. So just like if anybody out there, has their kids and somebody picks on your kids, mom's probably going to kill you. Same with the moms of the owls. They're bigger. They're about 8 pounds, a third bigger as far as the stature of size, and they'll protect those babies with their life. So they're sitting there watching the nest while dad's a little bit smaller. He's a little bit more agile. So he'll go out, he'll get the food and bring that back to mom and the babies. So yeah, one for the dads. That's what I'm talking about. We do what we can. So that's the reason for the size right there. So yeah, absolutely answered that one correctly. But nope, can't do 360 degrees. They can only do it once. And yes, Bird is a big goofball. And he's over there probably staring at himself in the mirror right now. That's his favorite thing to do. Anytime he finds a mirror, he goes there. We got Dr. Shetler on. Oh, snap. Dr. Shetler, you came right at the end. You came at the butt end of this, bud. All right, Vet John says, I've been trying to sort that out. There's supposed to be some in Melbourne, but when you search it, you get Australia all the time. I don't even know what you're talking about. Oh, the crocodile thing. Yeah, we've been talking about that for a couple of days. We're trying to figure out. We want to see if we can get like a tracking thing. We want to be able to track them like you track the white sharks. Kiki asked if I still have the kookaburra. Unfortunately, that is like my biggest regret. I do not have the kookaburra. It is at Gatorland with Fred's kookaburra. So Fred's kookaburra was a female. Mine was a male. When Fred passed away, we had sent those birds over to Gatorland. I wish that I would have kept mine. I will get another one in the future, but they are well taken care of. They're doing phenomenal over there, so that's about all I can ask for. But we had so much going on when that coot came in, and when 2020 hit, I had to make a decision of either there was a lot of stuff that we kept and there was a lot of stuff that we had to place. We didn't have a choice because we were moving around constantly and doing all these things, and then trying to spend the time with each and every single animal gets more and more difficult. And for me, whatever animals you have, you should be able to spend the time with, or at least as much time as you possibly can. That's what makes it possible to do the things that we do. So although I think I could have handled the kookaburra, at the time I was having a mini breakdown, so I kind of just wanted things in different areas. to be able to do that. Nana says your uncle's photos should be in a magazine. If you saw my uncle's photos and then you see my brother Eric's photos as well, those guys kill it with the underwater shots. They're super into the photography. They do a lot of shark dives. They do a lot, especially my uncle travels all over the world to do that. And then he had, I forget the girl's name, but I'll show a picture of her with a shark that you really don't want to encounter in the open water, which is the oceanic white tip. And the friend that he used to go with, this girl, was amazing with sharks, and she would free dive, and she'd go down a good distance on a free dive and hang out. And there's a beautiful picture with her and a white tip. I'll post that later today. I've been sharing that, but my uncle, my father, my brother, we all have the crazy gene in us, and that's where I got to where I am. That's where I got my love for animals. That's where I got my love for wildlife. Watching my uncle and father, and even my abuela growing up. She was super into animals, so she always had some rescued animal over there. Was it rescued doves or turtles or whatever it was? I always remember loving to go to my abuela's house because we always got to see the different animals and stuff. So that's where it comes from. But if you guys haven't seen that, flip over to the Facebook, and a bunch of my uncle's pictures have been posted, as well as some of my brother's pictures, and they do really, really good for as far as the underwater photography. I would like to get some myself printed on a big metal platform and post that on my wall. All right, so Karen, how Karen is? All right, we should probably ask her. She's the boss. Karen's doing well. She's out back with the other. We got some other chickens and stuff, and then we got Presley and we have Pristina out there doing their thing, and then there's some other chickens inside the coop with Karen. Karen's still Karen. You let her out, she'll follow you around everywhere you go. She supervises all the projects, and we're going to be building a little paddock there because Pig's going to go out there when I do the reptile room, because she can't keep coming in the reptile room. She just drags in too much dirt and stuff. So I'll build her a house out there, and then we'll open up that chicken coop and stuff and let them roam around during the day, and then they'll go back inside at night. The reason I worry is because we have a lot of hawks around the area, and we have a caracal that frequents the property too, and they are kind of like birds of prey but scavengers as well, so they're opportunistic. They will take an animal down, but they will also do like scavenging and stuff like that. But the hawks that we have here, I have like a whole family of red shoulder hawks. So last year they had their 2 babies, now they're adults and they're flying around. So there's 4 adults flying around right now, and then the 2 parents always stick to the back area. So I'm sure during season they're going to have 2 more babies, and they constantly hunt in my backyard. They have taken out Elvis, unfortunately, which is why I really don't want the chickens out roaming around anymore. But Karen's doing great. I let her out with me. I don't let her out all day long. I don't want anything to happen to her. Happy Camper says this is because that middle board always kills me. One of my favorite gifts ever. So my buddy had this, and it's Alien versus Predator. It's Michael Jackson and E.T. So I apologize if that offends anybody. I thought it was hilarious. It's a joke. It's just a joke. But at the end of the day, I had asked him about it, and he had it for a long time, I guess. And I just had mentioned something about it, and then I saw him a couple of months later, and he's like, "Yo, I got something for you." And we were skating. And this was in Sarasota. We were skating in the off John's Pass near the beach or whatever. And he goes and he pops the trunk, and he had this gem right here. And for that, I will forever be grateful to my homie over there. All right, let's see what we got. We got one more question, and then I am getting out of. Oh wait, hold on. Who lost? Hold on. Let me get to this.
I think he lost his dad.
Oh boy. Hold on, my friends. Hold on. I apologize. I have to pause for this because I saw something. Oh shit. Chris Clegg. Chris has been he's been around since like day one. All right, so Chris Clegg, that's rough. His pops passed away. Chris, man, I'm sorry. That sucks. That sucks more than I could possibly even imagine. Any loss is hard, and we've been going through a lot lately. Like my buddy Scott, rest in peace. Scott Corson, he passed. My buddy James Holt, he passed. Really hard for me to deal with stuff like that. I don't know how it is for you, Chris, and then especially being your dad. Like, very sorry. My heart goes out to you, my brother. Stay up, man. Keep a positive attitude, as your pops would probably want you to, I'm sure. But that's really rough. Prayers for you, my friend. Heart goes out to you. You got a bunch of people that are right there with you. So that's really hard. And that is goes into a lot of what we talked about in the beginning of the episode, man. It's time. Time's a real time's. I'll say it this time. Time's a bitch. Who cares if they take the money off of it? I don't care if they limit the ads on every live anyway. So who cares? But love you much, brother. Stay up. But that's it, man. Like time is always against us. We never know. So you got to live every day like it's your last. And then I'm sure your pops would want you to keep going on and keep being happy. And it's going to be rough for a while because I know that's not going to happen. Because I know, like, when people pass around me, it really, especially with the PTSD and everything else, it sends me to a downward spiral for quite some time, and I never get it off my head. And it's just something that's really hard. That's why, like, I really, really love the community that we have. I love the fact that everybody, bolsters everybody up. I hope you hang in there. And yeah, Chris says it was weird. We were in the room with him, just joking and crying. So it was like he was there. First person close to me I lost. Yeah, it gets really hard. I never really had to experience loss much as a child. It never really happened, at least for anybody that was directly related to or somebody that was close to us, like friends of my parents and stuff, might have passed and stuff, but I never really had to deal with it until recently. And I find it very difficult, extremely difficult. Like my grandparents, it was a little bit different because they were 98, 96, good long lives. And for that, you give a thumbs up and you go. And my family deals with things a little bit differently. So we did our jokes and stuff and kept the whole family laughing at the funerals and stuff. But that's when somebody passes from something like that. But when you lose a pops and all that, it's just, it's not a good one. And Chris again said stroke awareness, feel weird, all of a sudden vertigo, go to the ER, please. Oh shit. Yeah. Oh man, I have the vertigo with the cyst too. I'm gonna have PTSD about that. But much love to Chris. Again, stay up, brother. Like, we really never know how much time we have. And that goes for everybody. And that's why I've tried to be more positive lately. A lot of people that know me from like way back in the day and know how I am know that I have a little switch that'll flip on the inside of this brain here. And it's a little anger switch that goes off, and when it goes off, it goes off, and I see red, and there's nothing anybody can do to stop it. And a lot of times that has saved me from certain things, and it's helped me with my career in certain things, but it's also hurt me in certain areas too. And then once that happens, I dwell in that anger and I sit in that anger, and it doesn't just go away quickly. So I've tried to be more positive, less angry. I've tried to not get angry at certain things that I see or certain people, just like the whole will thing that we talked about in the beginning. Like, I try not to let that stuff bother me. If somebody's got something to say, let them say it, because if they want to be miserable, they can be miserable. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I could die tomorrow. My family, especially with my mother in surgery the other day or whatever, like, I worry about that stuff, and I worry about how much time that we have. So I try to be a little bit more positive on every aspect of life, no matter how bad life is, and no matter how hard it gets, and no matter how hard the struggle is, and financial situations and financial hardship, and trying to build a new park and restarting a business again after doing it 3 times and doing it very successfully, and then having the rug ripped out from underneath me, and having to restart that and try and rebalance and shit. Like, I could very easily just say fuck it. Well, now we're definitely not getting monetization, but I tried. I lasted for a while, but yeah, it gets difficult, but I try and stay as positive as possible, and just keep plugging along and keep trying not to leave you now. I'm hoping that it doesn't happen anytime soon, but we never know. So just always live every day to the best of your ability, and always live every day to get to the next one, and try and be good to the people around you. And even if the people around you are dicks, sometimes you can always kill them with kindness. There's always a thing like that. I'm gonna read this for Chris. He fell, hit his head, and was having issues processing the CO2 of his body due to the oxygen. His brain swelled so bad that he was going down, cutting off his air. Beat cancer 23 years and a damn stroke. That sucks, man. And that's a lot like Fred, too. Fred, for anybody that doesn't know Fred Grunwald was a true pioneer in the entire animal world, and somebody that literally loved anybody that came to him. It didn't matter who you were, what background you had, it didn't matter what color you were, how you looked, and what you did. He loved you no matter what. And it was similar to what happened to your dad. He used to tell the story, and it was a funny story because he had gotten cancer, and they told him that he only had 6 months to live. So he went out, he bought a big house, spent all of his money, and ran through and like took care of his family and all that stuff. And then he beat it. He went into remission after 6 months, and then he told the doctors, "Well, what am I supposed to do now?" He's like, I got to restart everything." He got rid of everything, and he told this hilarious story about basically putting himself in hardship because it's the second time we ran alive right into the dead phone. Hey, yeah, so Fred told that story, and it was basically a hilarious story, but then he beat that for 30 years, and then he passed from, some complications with the internal bleeding and stuff, and the thinning, and, after he hurt his nose, and it was very sad. So for Chris out there, man, like, he beat it for 23 years, and he had the 23 years, and definitely listen to what Chris said. Chris said, because you gotta be aware of your health, and that's something that I had ignored for so long. Like I didn't never cared about how healthy I was. I did a lot of things to my body that I probably shouldn't have done, and I'm not talking about animal stuff. I'm talking about my past and stuff, and I put myself in bad positions. I put myself in bad places, and you feel invincible when you're younger, and then you get older and you realize that, like, we're not here for as long as we thought. As a young kid, it seems like time goes by so slow. Like, you just want to be 18. You want to get through school. You want to be done with school. So you get done with school, and then once you get done with school and you finally turn 18, then you want to be 21 because you want to go have a drink with your friends out in a bar. And then you hit 21, and all of that time seems to go by so damn slow, especially when you're in school. I remember being in school just being like, man, we have 10 more years of this nonsense. And then in a blink of an eye, I'm 36 years old. And I got two kids of my own. One's 10 years old, and it's just baffling them. I got nieces and nephews that are almost 16 years old, and time goes by a lot faster than we think. So, Chris, much apologies. My heart goes out to you for your father. Rest in peace to your father, as I'm sure he will. But try and be happy as much as you possibly can. It's going to suck for a while, but just know that I'm sure he would want you to be as happy as possible. I know that if I passed away, I wouldn't want anybody to skip a beat. At my funeral, you can go ahead and throw the biggest party that you could possibly ever imagine. That's what I want. I want everybody to have a good time, and I want everybody to do their thing and then move on and be as happy as they possibly can when that happens, especially for my kids. So I'm sure your dad would want the same thing. But yeah, that one's rough. That one's super rough. All right. Last question, and I am out. What happened? You're very welcome, my buddy. You're very welcome. Chris had said, I appreciate it, and he appreciates the channel. Well, I appreciate you more than you could possibly imagine. You've been around since day one, even through all the bullshit and all the stalled out times, and times when I get down on myself and don't go, to the social media and all that stuff. It's rough. Josh XXS says, I'm 35, brother, deployed in Afghanistan, been through the ringer. When I got back, struggled with addiction, and proud to say doing good now. Josh, I can understand that statement more than you could possibly ever imagine, my brother. Won't get into the super big details, but I'm sure that you were around the same stuff that I was. And it's a real bitch. It's a real bitch. And for anybody out there that's going through similar issues, like there is always a way out of that. And although it may seem impossible, as it did for me when I was younger, I thought that I was going to be stuck in that rut forever. And you kind of get out of that. And you really got to want it for yourself, and you got to do it for yourself. But Josh, thank you much for your service, my friend. I had many of my friends go over there and deploy. Some of them did not come back, and some of them came back forever changed. So we appreciate you out there. That was a rough one too. So we can definitely understand how that comes, because it becomes an escape, same as it was for me. I was running from stuff. I'm sure, we all got things in our brains that we don't tell other people, and especially as dudes, we don't tell other people certain things because we don't. We're dudes. And that's just how it rolls. So there's things that we keep to ourselves and just never say anything to anybody, and then that escape becomes real easy, real easy. So, Josh, we salute you. We appreciate it, Chris. Man, feel better, brother. Just try and stay up. Michelle, thank you. Love you too. D.
Sorry.
Oh, D and Boss Bird. I love you very much. Very much I do. All right, my friends, real quick, I'll say what Josh said. It was a job I did, and I chose to do it for great people like y'all. Well, we appreciate it very much, Josh, and we appreciate anybody out there that's in the service or that has been in the service. That's a rough one. It's a rough one to go through. It's a rough one to choose, and it's a rough one to deal with afterwards, especially that battle in particular and being out there. I know my buddy Jake, came back from Afghanistan, and most don't talk about it. They don't see, they don't talk about that other side of things. But I love all of you guys. There's another 100-minute short live that we did. But I appreciate it. Thank you guys for hanging out on Sunday with me. You guys have been awesome. Love y'all. Have a good one. Love one another. Stay grateful. Peace. I'm out. Boom.